Welcome back to Sailing El Jaleo. Last week we didn't make it quite as far as I thought we would. We're still in Chesapeake Bay, and I was hoping to make it through the Bainbridge, but alas, I talk way too much, so we didn't make it that far. We actually made it to Eagle Cove, which is just north of Gibson Island. This week we will definitely make it through the Bainbridge, where we head down to Rhode River for an evening, just a quick overnight. The next morning we hop back out into the bay and make some serious tracks for us anyways, as the slowest moving vessel in the world. And we make it down to Solomons, Maryland, where we end up anchoring for the night in Back Creek, which is one of our favorite anchorages in all of Chesapeake Bay. I guess we might as well get into it. Grab a drink, climb aboard, and let's get going. And right off the bat this week, I do have to call out Robert and Trisha Johnson. Thanks to you guys, I have to redo my end credits now, so thanks a lot for that. That's going to waste minutes of my time. I mean, I'm just kidding, obviously. We actually have new patrons this week. Robert and Trisha Johnson have joined, and that means the world to me. It just means a ton, even beyond, you know, the you guys contributing to me continuing making videos. Just the acknowledgement that people appreciate these videos is really it's really gratifying. You know, I've been doing this for 4.5, 5 years now, and we're a small channel, but but it's seriously, it's nice to know that people do appreciate them. So thank you, Robert and Trisha Johnson. It really does mean the world to me, and I appreciate your support. If you are interested in joining our Patreon, you know, there is a link in the description down below, and we do have free options too. You don't have to pay. I think the cheapest paid tier is like $3 a month, but you know, about half of the posts that I put on Patreon are for free. So even if you just want behind the scenes videos and more information of where we are and what's going on, even if it's just for free, absolutely join our Patreon. It's easy. You just need an email to sign up, and then you can see the videos and stuff. So there's extra content there if you're interested. After spending 4 or 5 days at Eagle Cove, we were really chomping at the bit to get going again, and this year was especially frustrating. Normally when we leave Delaware City, we make it to the Bainbridge by day number 2, and that's kind of when we officially start our journey. That's kind of when I consider our journey to be started, is when we pass underneath the Bainbridge. And normally we do that on day 2, but this year we didn't do it until our second week. That's how bad the weather has been. So it's been an especially frustrating fall, but we've just had to move when the weather allowed us. And I apologize, we're on the hook here in Hampton, and the sun keeps popping in through the hatch here, so I might, if you see me contorted like this, it's because the sun is directly shining on the camera, so apologies for that, but you know, we'll have to make do. So yeah, normally we would be at the Bainbridge by day 2, so it's been very frustrating, but we had a 3-day window here where we would be able to jump from Gibson Island down to Rhode River, and then from Rhode River down to Solomons, and then from Solomons down to Mill Creek. So that would knock out about half of Chesapeake Bay for us, which would be epic. So that was the plan anyway. Let's see how it goes. Man, I was just watching that footage back as I was putting this together, and man, I just love the Bainbridge. It is so beautiful. Going under it is just a phenomenal thing. It's absolutely wonderful. I just love it. It's the perfect starting point and ending point in the spring to our journey, so I love it. And the sun is coming around again, so. But just south of the Bainbridge is one of the 2 major parking lots for container ships and oil tankers and that kind of stuff in the bay, and that is just south of the Bainbridge. And we were right on the edge of the wind, so we were able to use our head sail as we headed south, which gave us a nice boost, and then but we were right on the edge of our sail luffing, so we kind of had to pick our way through tanker ships. And right when we were going by one of them, I was originally going to cut in front of it, but they were pulling up their anchor just as we were getting to them, so I decided it would be safer to pass behind him. Once we did get down to once we did get down to Rhode River, I did have to do an oil change. Now, I knew EJ still had about 10 hours left on her engine, so I do have to change the oil every 100 hours on EJ's engine. And I had about 10 hours left, but I didn't want to wait until I got down to the Solomons. I knew it would be a long push to get down there. It's about 40 miles to get from Rhode River to the Solomons, but to get from Gibson Island to Rhode River it was only about 22 miles. So it made a lot more sense just to spend the time on our first day and change the oil a little bit early rather than trying to squeeze it in after a long day pushing down the bay. So once we got to Rhode River, we changed the oil, and I had a couple of cocktails, and we went to bed early, anticipating getting up the next morning to get back on the road. After a peaceful night at anchor in Rhode River, we got up the next morning to get on the road. We had a long journey ahead of us, all the way down to Solomons, Maryland, and normally we would leave in the dark, but this is one of 2 anchorages that we routinely stay at where we just don't feel comfortable leaving in the dark, and that is because of crab traps. Now, most places when you have a navigable channel, the fishermen won't put their crab traps, you know, they've got a rope, it's a metal cage at the bottom, it's got a rope that goes up to a float, and they won't put those traps in navigation channels or where boats routinely go. But for some reason in Rhode River, where Rhode River and West River meet to go back out into the bay, there are just crab traps everywhere. And even in the normal navigation channels there are crab pot floats. So, you know, I'm not sure why and the other place is in Mill Creek, just south of the Potomac. So there as well, I don't feel safe navigating at night just because there are crab traps everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in the channel or not. They're just there. So, you know, you would think the fishermen, in an interest, trying to get out of the light, in interest of their own financial security, you wouldn't think that they would put crab traps where they might get run over by a boat. A, you're going to mess up the boat potentially, and B, at the very least, you're going to lose your crab trap. So I don't know why they put them in the navigation channels at those 2 locations. Woobs, do you want to say hi, Wobble? Did you want to make another guest appearance? Did you have to say anything? Should I just get you a treat and get it over with instead of arguing with you for 20 minutes, huh? All right, I'm going to grab her a treat quick. What do you think? Do you want a treat? Would you like one? I mean, I don't have to get you one. It's up to you. Did you want a treat? Oh, she does want a treat. Oh, okay, let's get treats. As we headed down the bay, we ran into our arch nemesis. You know, most container ships and oil tankers, that kind of stuff, they don't throw out that much wake. But for some reason, this one specific design of container ship absolutely obliterates everything in its path. And if I see one, I turn around and go the opposite direction. And that's what I was doing this day. I was way on the other side of the bay. The tanker ships, this specific container ship was coming up the western shore of the bank. I was on the eastern shore. I thought everything's good, we're gonna be okay, but he turned and headed directly towards us. And I was like, son of a biscuit. There's no way, he's going so fast, there's no way we'll get across his bow by the time he reaches us. Which means the worst possible scenario, a port-to-port pass with one of these monstrosities. Now, even if I turned and ran in the opposite direction, I would not have been able to get sufficiently far enough away from him by the time his wake hit us. So I knew we were just going to have to take it on the chin. And for some reason, this type, if you see a big blue container ships, those ones, they don't put out as much wake. Oil tankers don't put out as much wake. I don't know if it's maybe these specific container ships, maybe their gross tonnage is just so much larger than others that they can't help it. Maybe it's an older, inefficient design. I don't know. But it presents a very, very big problem for us for 2 reasons. One is so obviously it's just me and the crew. And the crew cannot help deploy the anchor. So I leave we use the anchor every single day, so I leave the chain in a pile on the front deck. What would that be, the foredeck? And, you know, I know there are chain lockers where they're self-feeding and they'll feed down into the chain locker and then back out of the chain locker if you use the windlass to put the anchor up and down, but I don't do that. So, and plus, EJ's just got a cowl vent, so you have to hand feed the chain into the cowl vent. And a lot of times where we anchor, the current is going really fast and it's very narrow. So I wouldn't have time to run up to the front of the boat and pull the chain out of the locker before deploying it. We would be in trouble by then. So I leave the chain on the deck up front. It's right over a bulkhead. It's not going to damage the deck or do anything like that. But when you're confronted from the wake of one of these monstrosities, it's basically like rolling down a hill, about a 8-foot hill, and when you get to the bottom, the boat just sticks its nose right into the wave. And there are two of them. So there are two waves that come back to back. So number one problem we've got is the chain becomes a projectile at that point. It goes wherever it wants to, and that is not good. It's a 180-pound lump of metal that's moving rapidly and could injure a crew member. Now, it wouldn't fly back to the cockpit, it wouldn't go that far, but on the front deck, that chain can go anywhere, and that's a very bad situation. And the other problem is the crew. Now, Linus's safe space is at the very front of the boat, and which is good. You know, when you're rocking side to side, it's a very safe spot to be. He's right in the center of the boat, you know, minimum motion, like he's figured out that's a good spot. But when you're going up and down, it's the absolute worst spot to be. So he was up on front of the boat when we were contending with this wave, and he would not come back. He does not listen. So I need to come up with some sort of a barrier so I can lock them into the cockpit. So when we confronted this wave, you have to turn into it. I mean, if one of these waves hit you on the side, I don't even know what it would do. I mean, I don't know that it would roll us over, but it would probably come close. It would probably be, it would just be a bad situation. So we turn, go into the wave, there's two of them, bury the nose, then it, you know, the nose comes way up high out of the water. It's a miracle that Linus A didn't get hit by the chain and B didn't get thrown overboard. Somehow he managed to stay on the front of the boat. Go down for the second one. It's not as bad as the first, but it's still bad. You know, he's taking probably a 20-foot drop from the, you know, from the height of the, you know, once you come up over that wave, the front of the boat is, you know, 8, 9, 10 feet out of the water, and then you go back down into the next trough and bury the nose again, and now he's 10 feet, you know, further, you know, down in a trough. So he's traveling like 20 feet up and down on each of these waves. And how he stayed on the boat, I don't know. I was getting ready to grab the net and retrieve him. But so I need to get the crew more used to coming back when I call them. I need to find some sort of a barrier to keep them back in the cockpit. It was a bad situation that he shouldn't have been in. It was my fault that he got in that position, and I need to definitely come up with a way to deal with it. You know, we only run into this situation once every few years, but when you do, it's bad. So it's definitely something that we need to train on, and we need to get, you know, the behavior corrected, because he could have been, A, he could have drowned, and B, he could have been very severely injured by the chain. So, Wiegand, are you okay, princess? What are you whining for? Yep. So she is upstairs now. You need to come in, Wieg. She's always demanding attention. Oh boy. And that's all we have time for this week. I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreon crew. Without your guys' support, I would not make these videos. I've contemplated quitting a few times, but thanks to your guys' support, I've decided to continue on. And my Patreon crew is Joan and Juddy Judnick, Val and Chris Alcorn, Eli Sackett, Sherry Erickson, Deb Shaw, Matthew Spotton, Kristen Ashton, and Peter Allen. Natalie Linehan, and Tricia and Robert Johnson. Thank you guys so very much for your support. It really does mean the world to me. I wouldn't do this without you, so thank you very much. I do have one legacy patron member. Her name is Joan Linbo, and unfortunately she has passed on, but she lives on in our hearts forever. We really miss you, Joan. If you are interested in joining our Patreon crew, there is a link in the description down below where you can join Patreon. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for anything, and you'll get half of the bonus content for free. If you do want to join and throw us a couple of bucks, we won't turn you down. If you do like our videos, please do like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us out with the algorithm and all this other garbage. I don't know how it works, but they say it helps, so hit that thumbs up button. Alrighty, I hope y'all are well, and we'll see you next week.